Human found an injured beast and saved it, not knowing it was the pet of the baroness. The forest was thick with fog and silence when I first found it. A strange creature curled beneath a fallen tree, with her matted and breathing shallow. It looked like nothing I had ever seen before. 6 legs, a long sweeping tail, and silver eyes that flickered open when I stepped closer. I was a traveler, not a soldier, not a scholar, just a wanderer passing through the outer provinces of the Zalari Empire. This land was not mine, and neither was the beast. But something about the way it lay helpless, unmoving, tugged at me. Easy now, I whispered, kneeling slowly. It growled low, but it was weak, too weak to lift its head. One of its legs was twisted unnaturally, and its flank was smeared with dried blood. I did not know what it was or where it came from, but I knew it would die here if I left it. So I made a choice. I tore my cloak into strips, made a crude splint, and gave it water from my flask. It drank with slow, cautious movements, its eyes never leaving mine. I stayed beside it for hours through the night, watching for any sign of danger. The next morning I built a stretcher from branches and rope, then began the long, slow journey back to my camp. The beast did not struggle. It simply watched me. I nursed it back to health over several days, feeding it cooked meat and cleaning its wounds. It never attacked me, never tried to run. By the 5th day, it stood on its own. By the 7th, it began to follow me. There was something gentle about it beneath the sharp claws and fangs. Like it understood, I had helped it. I started calling it Gray Fong. We moved together through the woods, quiet and unseen. He was more companion than animal, always watching, always listening. I had no idea he was anything more than a wounded beast. That changed when we reached the edge of a burned village. Zalari soldiers were searching the ruins, and I kept to the shadows, not wanting trouble. But Gray Fong let out a sudden sharp cry. 3 soldiers turned and I froze. They stared wide-eyed and dropped to one knee. One of them spoke into a communicator with a voice full of urgency. "They are here. We found the Baroness's companion." I blinked confused. "The what?" The soldiers stepped forward carefully as if afraid to startle the beast. "Forgive us, human," one said. "You are in possession of the Baroness's bonded guardian. That is her pet, her guardian." I looked at Gray Fong. He was calm, still standing beside me. I did not understand. Then she arrived. Descending from the sky in a sleek black craft, the Baroness stepped out like something from another world. She was tall, regal, and dressed in armor that shimmered like starlight. Her eyes were violet cold and piercing. When she saw Gray Fong, her breath caught, and she ran to him. She knelt and wrapped her arms around his neck, speaking, in her native tongue, her voice shaking. Gray Fong pressed into her touch, letting out a soft chuff like a purr. She turned to me then, and I prepared for the worst. This was her territory, her creature, and I was just a human, a nobody, but she surprised me. "You saved him," she said softly. I nodded. "I found him injured. I did what I could." She stood slowly, her expression unreadable. "Do you know what he is?" I shook my head. "No, he is a bonded guardian, a sacred creature chosen at birth to protect the ruling line. He has served me since I was a child. When he disappeared, we believed him dead." I looked at Gray Fong in a new light. I did not know. I just saw a creature in pain. She studied me for a long moment. "You acted without knowing. You helped without expectation. Most would have left him or tried to claim him. You did neither." She walked toward me slowly. "There is something rare in that, something valuable." I shrugged. "I do not think kindness should be rare." She smiled faintly. "Neither do I, but it often is." She reached into her belt and pulled out a small insignia. "Take this. It marks you as a friend of the Baroness. It will protect you in our lands." I took it cautiously. "Thank you." She looked at Gray Fong, then at me. "He has chosen you. I blinked. Chosen me. These creatures bond for life. He will not leave you unless commanded, but I will not command him. He is free to stay with you or return with me. The choice is his. Gray Fong stepped forward and pressed his head gently against my leg. The Baroness laughed softly. Well then, I suppose the matter is settled. I felt overwhelmed. This beast's guardian had become more than a companion. He was my friend, and now I knew he had a history far beyond me. Thank you, I said again, unsure what else to offer. She gave a nod. If ever you need shelter or aid, show that insignia. You will not be refused. She turned to leave, then paused. Tell me your name, human. James. She smiled again. I am Baroness Kelra of the Zalari High House, and you have my gratitude. With that, she boarded her ship and vanished into the sky. Gray Fong sat beside me watching until the craft disappeared. We stood together under the rising sun in the forest, quiet once more. He was not just a beast, not just a pet. He was part of something larger, something noble. And still he chose me. I scratched behind his ears, and he gave a low-content sound. Well, Gray Fong, I guess we have a story now. And so we continued on. A wanderer and a noble beast, bound not by command, but by something stronger. Trust.